These screenshots contain the most depressing job hunting failure I've ever encountered. This tragedy spanned 2 weeks, starting when I applied for the job and ending when I was denied it. So let's jump right in. Obviously, I blurred everything out, and you can see on this screenshot that I applied for a prep cook position. So you can see on July 19th, they established first contact at 7:47 p.m. Hello blank, would you please send me your work availability? So not caring that this was 8 days later, I opened up with an accidental typo. I don't not currently have a job. I'm searching for work right now. My availability is open. I'm available every time and day of the week. I have an interview with blank tomorrow at 3 p.m. So for the sake of brevity, she says, hello blank, I'm looking for someone to fill a Saturday to Monday for a month and then transition to Monday through Friday. I have slots available this week for a Zoom interview. Then I said, we can do an interview. I can fulfill your request. If it's a prep cooked position, would I be working in the morning? Then I saw I made a typo and put prep cook. She said, yes, for prep cook, you can start as early as 5 a.m. latest start time 7 a.m. Then I said, if it's the same to you, I can do the 7 a.m. time. How long is the shift? She says, I usually give 7 hours to complete tasks, but if you finish earlier, you can check in with me, and if all tasks are complete, you're good to go. So I said, okay, 7 to 2, I like that. So you need a Saturday to Monday for a month and then a transition to Monday to Friday? She says, correct. If this works for you, we can set up a Zoom interview this week. I say, this works for me. We can set up an interview. Since I have this other interview with blank tomorrow, I'll keep you updated on how that goes. Then I asked, what time works best for you for the interview? Then she said, you can update me tomorrow and we can set up an interview then if still interested. I said, okay, I will. And then the next day on July 20th, I said, hey, I just got through with the interview. I do not know if I got the job yet, but they said they will let me know. I did not get the job, by the way. Then I finally heard back from them and I said, I just heard back from them. I'm ready to schedule the interview. And the next day she says, hello blank, we can schedule a Zoom interview for tomorrow at 10 a.m. over Zoom. Does this work for you? I say, thank you for getting back up with me. Yes, that will work tomorrow at 10 a.m. She says, perfect, may you please send me your email and I will provide you the link 5 minutes before the interview. Obviously I provided the email, but it's censored. She said, apologies blank. Are you able to do the interview at 10:30 a.m. instead? Basically, she wanted to push it back 30 minutes. I said, yes, 10:30 would be fine. Now the interview went really well, actually. Somehow me and her got to talking about Hawaii during the interview. We were talking about other things, we're joking around. It seemed like everything went well. And it went so well, in fact, that I decided to send her a message afterwards. And I said, thank you for the interview. I look forward to hearing back from you. It honestly felt like I got the job. And it really felt like one of those things where I was pretty much in the door. She just had to figure out when to get up with me. Everyone I told about this had very high hopes that I was going to get the job. I was so confident, in fact, that I stopped applying to jobs at other places because I was confident that I would hear back from this place. So at the end of the interview, she said, I'll get up with you tonight or tomorrow. And I said, okay, fine. So what happened next was the most insane series of events I've ever seen in my entire life. She never gets back up with me that night, and she never gets back up with me the next day. So I wait an entirely new day and she still doesn't get back up with me. So I call the restaurant. Then the lady says, actually, I'm the assistant manager. She told me she'd get up with you later next week. And I finally call them because it's a Tuesday. I've been waiting for like nearly a week. So I call the place to say, hey, can I speak to the manager? They said, well, she's not here. She's at the other location. I said, I just want to know if I got the job. So the employee messages the manager and then hangs up on me. I don't know if there was a miscommunication, but she hangs up on me. And it felt very disrespectful. I don't know if there was a miscommunication because she said she was going to message the manager and never told me if I needed to stay on the line or not. She just hung up. So I call the other location where the manager is supposedly at. I say, hey, is the manager here? And the employee says, yes, the manager is here, but she's having a meeting right now. What's up? And I said, hey, I just want to know if I got the job or not. And so we get off the phone and I finally get a message back on Indeed. And this is what the message reads. Hello, blank. Thank you for applying for the prep cook position at blank. And you can see there's a typo here. We carefully reviewed your skills and qualifications. And although we do strongly believe you're a qualified candidate, we ultimately decided to seek out another candidate. I appreciate the time you invested to apply for this position at blank. Best wishes for a successful job search. Thank you again for your interest in our company. Sincerely, blank. This is really the most depressing job hunt I've ever had. The whole time it felt like the employer was dangling a carrot over my face. Now if you managed to find out what business this was, please don't go harassing anyone. Yeah, that's really about it. If you want to give to the Patreon, please consider that if you really like my work, and thank you if you watched the video all the way through. And that's about it. See ya.